how is this going to work? Like, how am I really going to learn anything from being around people that feel like they've already arrived because they recorded a
Right.
song in the closet? So I just got tired of it. And I literally, Trina, I told my sister, I was like, I want to leave. I don't know where I want to go. So I put all my stuff in the storage. I applied at places all over the world. And we packed up the car and went to New Orleans for Essence. And on our way to Essence, on our way to New Orleans, my sister got a job. And then I got an interview.
Wow. Look at
I had an
God.
interview like that week. Yeah. So that's how I got to New Orleans. And
Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
amazing. I love it. Look. Oh no. They don't get it. It's okay. We get it.
I was like, yes, Lord, come on with the cancellations.
Ooh, we going in it. Now let's get it.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm black. Am I good?
He's with the best of them. And he's one of my favorite men at the Alpha side.
that entrance sounds like much more than who I actually am.
All right, so my guest of honor is a woman with a vision to implement change. She's a go-getter, mother, and humanitarian, widely known for having big dreams. Her personal mission includes helping others to realize and reach their full potential. And whether she's working her day job as an executive assistant, working live theater, or her nonprofit, The Now and Later Effect, that's exactly what she does. She embodies Black excellence and she exudes elegance. I believe that her dedication to being the change will lead her to monumental success. Today, my guest of honor is Jamie Berry. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much, Trina. You're so sweet.
No, I really do mean it, though. I really do mean it.
Thank you. I appreciate it and I receive it. But yes, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just trying to stay safe and alive out here in these streets.
Yes.
A little razzle dazzle.
Ready to catch a flight. Like, trying to stay safe. Can't wait till it's over. Ready to make a move.
I'm not gonna lie. December, gone or not, I got to go somewhere. I got to go. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, I need just a little go away. Like it can be to a random place. I don't know. I don't care if I'm going to Delaware. We need to go. I need to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
What's up, Delaware?
No, you're right. What's up, Delaware? I always make this joke that my husband doesn't live in Texas. He up north somewhere. So I think it's funny. If he actually come out to be from the north, I'm gonna be laughing because I manifested that, obviously. No, but how has quarantine been going for you?
It's been good. It's been okay for me. I mean, I feel like I am probably one of the most outgoing introverts.
Yeah.
People don't know that, but I am an introvert. And I think, I have, personality. I enjoy being around people for the most part, but for like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay,
where's that? Go.
So it's been okay. I've had a couple of small things, like a little pod.
Mm-hmm.
So we're managing. My son was already homeschooled, so that wasn't anything that we had to kind of get into or anything. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest part for us has really just been not traveling. And we are adjusting fine. I mean, it's what we have to do to make sure that we're safe. So just keep doing it and hope that soon this will be over and we can move on.
I sure do hope so. I really do. I feel like 2020 has really taught us a lot. Like everybody has at least one big takeaway from 2020. So tell me what's your biggest takeaway from last year?
I feel like my biggest takeaway from 2020 was to kind of stay in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't even really know if that was my biggest takeaway from 2020 or if I just got it in 2020.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I feel like maybe I was supposed to already have had that, or maybe that's a lesson that I've been kind of like dealing with, relinquishing. Can't even say it. That shows you I can't do it. But go some of the control and not getting so attached to things going a specific way. And just rolling with the punches,
Oh yeah,
So
that's
that's
a
what
big one.
2020.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a constant one. It's a
mm,
constant one for me because it's like you'll get that lesson with working professionally, but then as a mom, I have to get it. With trying to run a business, I have to get it. I have to get it as a daughter, even on the interstate. Let me tell you, I could. I was telling somebody the other day, like, you just having a bad day and it seems like nothing's going right, and then
mm-hmm.
you like drop your keys or something, you just lose it. That for me is sitting at a red light too long. I will lose my mind. After I didn't have a rough day, honey, I will cry it out at a red light. So
Yeah.
I'm just letting go of some of the control and just trying to like be in touch with myself and everybody else, I guess, just in a different way, and trying not to be so intense
I
with some
understand.
things, just letting it happen. It happens as it happens, so
It's difficult to do that at times because when you're passionate about something, it's like you either feel like you need to be all in, or you either feel like I'm not doing enough.
hmm
So I definitely can agree
yeah,
with you when it comes
yeah.
to that, and like relinquishing, delegating and doing things like that. It's definitely
And-
difficult to get to that point. So I feel you.
yeah,
I, do
yeah.
you?
Even with my son, like I was saying, I did this was facilitating these courses where we talked about different characteristics of white supremacy, which this is gonna sound like I'm going way far off for a minute, but I promise you
You
I'm
go right ahead.
not. And one of the characteristics of white supremacy is things have to be done a specific way. Like there's only one way to do the thing. And I'm learning that with my son, like just relax, let him make his bed up the way he wants to. Like it does not mean that it's wrong just because it's not the way I do it. Let him do his things the way he wants to do it. Because the reality of the situation is I have enough stuff like to really control.
Yeah, yeah,
So the things that I can't control or the things that just aren't that big of a deal, like just let it go and move on to something else that can really use your energy.
yeah. And you, by doing that, you're gonna like set your son up to know what his voice is, which is a great thing. Because a lot of times parents don't realize they snatch their voice right up out their kids. So this is a good thing. So he'll be like creative and like free to flow into that. So that's a
Mm.
good thing. She
Well,
like
thank
she like, oh, it's a process.
yes. I'm gonna hear your voice. I'm struggling. It's a good thing. It's a
A
good
good
thing.
thing. He gonna be a little explorer. Just let him explore.
hmm
Well, Jamie, tell us a little bit about your background, where you from, where you went to school, all those different things.
Well, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
Sam.
And I feel like I went to a lot of schools. I mean, I'm from the South Side. I went to Carter Park Elementary School. I also went to Applied Learning Center. I went to Trimble Tech.
Woo.
I lived in Temple, Texas for a little while, and I went to a school there, and then I went to some other school. I feel like I'm leaving something out. I know I am, but I can't get it right now. But yeah, so just schools kind of really scattered across Fort Worth. And yeah, so very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deep into this you want me to go, but I was raised I was born to two heroin addicted parents. So I dealt with that. I'm leaving out Crowley. I went to Crowley Middle School. That's what
She
I'm
looked
leaving.
at Crowley.
Yes. Because I lived with my sister part of the time when
Mhm.
my parents were away. So I lived with my sister and I went to Crowley when I was living with her. So, just like really scattered across Fort Worth. And kind of, I feel like honestly thinking about it now, like all the different schools that I went to, you can really probably just figure me out if you just look at the schools. Like I feel like I have a little bit of each of them in me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Look, our schools definitely play a huge role in like our development because you're surrounded by so many different types of people. Like
Yeah.
we met at Trimble Tech, and I mean, we both from the South Side. It's just a lot of things that influence you or like help you to develop who you are, you know, as you transition.
And not only that, but like Trimble Tech and Applied Learning Center, both of those schools didn't really have a district per se.
Yeah.
So you was with kids from Stop Six, from Eastwood, from the North Side.
Yep.
You know, at my middle school, we went to school with children that were from Central America. It was like a whole other side of the school where and they were coming here to learn English and to learn different things. So very early, I was exposed to kids that were just from all over the place, sharing a library with them, sharing a bathroom with them, you know, learning about how they live and different things like that. So yeah, girl.
How do you feel like your upbringing impacted you with communicating with people at school though? Like how do you feel like that was it a hindrance or did it help you open up more?
I feel like it helped me. But I don't know because I feel like it helped me, but I also feel like some of it is just me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like how much you are you without all of your experiences, you
Yeah.
know? But I do feel like going to all those different schools and being exposed to so many different kinds of people, I kind of look for that now.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
kind of crave it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I worked in hospitality a very long time and I loved meeting people from just all over the world, you know. And I used to say then, like, I just felt like when I had my blog and when I was really pursuing theater very heavily and just really trying to be like this light bulb for people, I felt like that was the perfect place for me to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you meet people, they coming in maybe for a funeral. I done met people who getting ready to cheat.
Lord Jesus, here's your keys. Like it's not your keys.
Here are your keys. People who getting ready to cheat, people who looking for somebody that is young
Man.
kids that are running away, you know, just all kinds of different things. And so it's just a really unique position to be in to where you can kind of leave a little bit of that with them, you know. And it was I would have people, I'll never forget, I stopped working at this hotel and went back like randomly 2 years later. And just so happened I was there that day. I was just there, and I answered the phone and it was this lady. She said, "Thank you so much." She said, "I stayed there this long ago. You have no idea how much you helped me." I would get calls like this all the time, like, and it was just from things that came so natural to me, that I didn't really necessarily think I was changing their life or like giving them a different outlook on things. I was just there and I was just being myself, you know? And so yeah, I definitely feel like being exposed to all those different kinds of kids and cultures and upbringings and all of that, I feel like it gave me a little bit of edge. And I'm a stickler for communication.
Yeah.
Pet peeve, honey. I can't. If you're not communicating with me, that's something that I really I'm even still learning to work through. So yeah, I
Yeah.
hope I answered that for you.
Oh, you did. You definitely did. And I think that it's interesting that you said the things that come natural to you, you didn't realize would help other people. I think we always downplay it because it's so
Mhm.
natural to us. Like
Yeah,
we're so used to like, this is just what I do. I'm just being me.
yeah,
But we don't realize how many people don't even have that to do. Like they can't do it. They don't even feel comfortable being who they are. Like,
yeah.
and that hurts
Um,
my feelings. I'm very sad for people who can't like just be who you are. like naturally.
Yeah.
It's sad,
It
but
is sad. It's
it
sad.
is.
Or also people who don't feel comfortable being themselves in a professional environment. Like I would get to work and baby, I would clean that desk down. You know, I'm really just an old lady at heart. So I would get in there, clean that desk, wipe the phone off because I don't want your germs.
Yeah, this was
And
pre-COVID.
yes. Oh, I've
Pre-COVID.
always been, yes, I have literally always been like COVID minded without even knowing about COVID. But yeah, I would
Right.
clean up and then just get down to making stuff. If I saw somebody that was down or they checked in and said they were down, I would make them a little gift basket with whatever we had at the front desk.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to like print off little stuff from books and slide it under their door, you know, just whatever I thought they needed as a human, not necessarily as just a guest,
That's beautiful.
but just as a human to like smile or just feel, you know, I don't want to get too much into my hospitality career because I work night audit, so I got some stories. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was it was a good place. It was a good place for me to really just be able to be myself and be able to reach people and all that. So yeah.
Yes. Well, how did you discover your passion, or how did you know that you wanted to go into the career that you're in right now?
What do you mean career as far as being an executive assistant or?
Well, I'm talking about your nonprofit, all your passion work and things like that. How did you know that that was something that you wanted to do?
I don't really see, and that's the thing. I don't really even look at it that way. I guess maybe it's kind of weird. I'm literally just doing what I do. Like if I did not have the now and later effect, I would still be feeding the homeless. I would still be trying to reach the youth. So for a long time, and even up until recently, I've been doing the same thing. I just decided to do it as a nonprofit so that I could get more resources.
Yeah.
That was really the only reason, so that I could get donations and things like that from larger companies. But listen, if everybody tells me no, I'm still gonna do it. Like I'm gonna figure out a way to make sure that it gets done. And that's just the way that it's been for me, you know, like I'll plan something, and if everybody, Walmart, Sam's, whoever else says they don't have any donations, then it's, you know, and that's one of the things I love about being from the hood. Like,
yep,
you're not gonna tell me no and then I'm just gonna be like, okay, well maybe
okay.
No. Okay, appreciate you. I'm gonna ask again, but I got you, and I'm gonna figure something else out for this time around, you know, and just keep going with it. So I don't really know if I discovered anything.
Yeah, it's just something you love. It's just something you love to do.
That I love doing. I will share with you though that when I was younger, I witnessed somebody that was very close to me become homeless. And it was just heartbreaking. I mean, Trina, a lot of times when I sit back now at my age now and I think about my life as like a child, I will cry down now. Yeah. And then it just never affected me in that way. You know, like little Jamie, I was just like I am now, where I say, I'm going to figure something else out or whatever. I was just like that then, where I was just like, okay, what's the solution? What can we do? You know, but if sitting now and thinking about back then, it makes me sad to know that I was dealing with so much at such a young age. But I do think that witnessing that left an imprint on me. And even though giving is part of my nature and nurturing is part of my nature, it kind of just made me want to like make sure that everybody knows that, you know, for like all the other little Jamies in the world, they know that somebody's out there taking care of their family. That somebody that doesn't care if they're on drugs, don't care what the story, I want to know what your story is and what happened and all that. But if it's something where you were a thief or you robbed a bank and you hungry, come on and eat.
Yeah, right. You still gotta eat.
Like, none of that matters to me, that you gambled the money away and that's why you're outside. Okay, I hope you learned your lesson. We're not going to do that again. Come on and eat, and let's get these resources to figure out how we can find you a home. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that left an imprint on me, but I still do feel like I would still be doing something like this.
I believe you. Tell me what your mission statement is, your actual mission statement for the Now and Later Effect.
The mission of the Now and Later Effect is to help end homelessness by providing the less fortunate with the necessary resources to acquire and maintain personal and financial growth, self-sufficiency, and increased awareness of their self-worth and the high quality of life that can boost our economy. So that is the mission of my nonprofit. We're called the Now and Later Effect, and you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at the Now and Later Effect.
I will tell you this though. I love the name because obviously you know what it puts me in the mind of. Like,
girl. And the crazy thing about that, Trina, is that the really crazy thing about that is that I used to buy those Tropical Punch Now and Laters by the box.
Yeah.
Literally by the box. And so, like one day I think I was just trying to figure out what I wanted the name for the nonprofit to be and what I wanted it to mean and all that. And I was like, I could just do the Now and Later Effect, where these are the effects of what happens when you provide this care right now and you follow up with some stuff later. And I was just like, all right, that's it.
I love it. I love it because that's a delicacy in our neighborhood.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes. Look, y'all need to go follow her page. I love what she did for the I'm about to say the inauguration. Before we got to that point, the work that she was putting in to make sure that we were all about voting and using our voices to vote. Tell me a little bit.
The voting for me.
It's the voting for me. I was like, first of all, let's look at this flyer. I stopped. I was like, ooh, I like that. I feel that in my spirit. It's the voting for me because our people don't vote. Like,
well, we do now.
We do now. We
do now. Yes, honey, we do now.
It's a beautiful thing. I will say this. I love the fact that every time someone tries to stop the movement, you always make it worse for yourself because now you've awakened a whole heap of people, as my grandma would say, a heap. A whole heap of folks are we're woke. Mm-hmm. I hate using that term, but
that's what it is. Like we've been asleep.
A lot of us
have
been
asleep, and some of us have. I feel like some of us have been kind of almost too woke.
Yeah, way too woke.
Yeah, like this is not necessarily, if we had a choice today of what we could do to elect the president, this isn't necessarily what I would choose. Like all of the systems that are in place are not in place to favor us.
Right.
But that's not a reason not to do it. Like we have to figure out a way to make their systems that they meant for our harm work for our good. And that's what we did in this situation. And I feel like as long as we continue to hold them accountable.
Exactly.
Which, okay, rock your Chucks and pearls, but tell your girl Kamala, is stuff that needs to be done, and Biden, making sure, holding them accountable. And not only that, I feel like maybe even more importantly, on a local level, making sure that everybody is understanding what's going on and that it's still important to get out there and vote.
Yeah.
I feel like we'll be okay.
I think we'll be okay too. And this is what I said about 2020. I was like, I know that it's been crazy. There has been a lot of death. There has been a lot of things happening. But we have literally seen something switch that has never
Yeah.
happened before. And the fact that we've gotten to see Georgia turn blue. Like, look, first of all, I ain't never thought
I was shocked at the fact that it was even a might happen
that's what I'm saying.
before it actually did happen.
And Texas was almost
I know.
blue. I was like, whoa. Like, that shows you that, like, the resistance and all that hardship that we have to go through with certain things, like, it's really polishing you. It's really not always just like, putting you under or anything. You really are creating something new. So it's exciting to see. We're
Yep.
gonna see what they do. I hold them accountable. I'm gonna pray for them just like I prayed for Trump when he was in office. I prayed for our government officials because I need them to be covered.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on away from that topic because I can say
So
a
it's
whole
your
lot.
fault that Trump is still walking amongst us. I'm
First
joking.
of all, look. First of all, he a child of even though he don't act like it, he a child of God. But it ain't always easy to pray for the people you gotta pray for. I'm gonna plug that in there. But I'm not supposed to get to them pearly gates and God be like, so you couldn't pray for that man?
But what had happened?
Nah, I'm trying to get in them gates so I can meet Jesus and I can meet God and then I can go find Tina Marie. That's my girl.
Okay. Girl, I saw Tina Marie at the airport one time and she was so cool. Like, she was so down to earth. I didn't even get a picture with her.
I love her.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. I would be like, hey, Tina, can I get a pic? No.
Girl, I took a picture for somebody with her. And
I would have been like, pop me one.
I think she was just so cool and just so down to earth that we were just like talking like about what you've been up to and what's coming and just like how, just catching up and then she was gone.
I love Tina Marie. That's one of my favorite artists of like all time. Like, people don't be putting enough respect on my girl name. They really don't.
I know. Yeah.
They really do not.
Right.
Well, tell me a little bit about your time in theater, like the love for theater. Tell me about that.
Girl, I have just always loved theater.
Mm-hmm.
When I was really small, I told my mom I wanted to be an actress. Mm-hmm. I actually told her that I wanted to do what Raven Simone was doing. We were watching the Cosby Show.
She paid.
Oh, I know.
paid.
If we could have just followed through with that. But no. But yeah, and then I went to one of the elementary schools I was at. A lady pulled me aside and she said, "Will you be in show choir?" Miss Stout, her daughter Donna went there and she said, "Will you be in show choir?" She explained it to me. She wanted to talk to my mom and she said, "You're just always smiling. You got such a big smile." That's why she wanted me to participate. And I did. I was in 4th grade then and I stayed with her through 8th grade and then had like all of the side improv classes and then did theater some in high school. But honestly, I feel like performance, because I was in band, I was in choir, I was a cheerleader, I was in
you did it all.
Whatever I put my hands on. Yeah, I was in everything. I just feel like it was very cathartic for me. And maybe that was part of the reason why a lot of the things that were going on didn't hit the way they hit sometimes now when I think about them, because I had an outlet. So yeah, I've just always loved theater. I went to New York for a while, did some stuff at the Stella Adler studio. And then I've done a lot of stuff in New Orleans with theater. So yeah, I love theater.
Is that what brought you to New Orleans?
No, girl. I went to New Orleans because I was bored. I was living in Atlanta. I went to Atlanta first when I left Texas. And I just got tired of Atlanta fast. Like maybe after a year and a half, I had done a lot of film stuff, like extras. I was being an extra. They were using my car in movies. I was just doing whatever I could do. and film, just to kind of like be around it and kind of pick up on it,
Mm-hmm.
see if I was actually going to like film. And I just got tired of like, I feel like Atlanta, for one, I really didn't move there because I moved there because it was closer than New York. I always wanted to go to New York, but my parents were like, well, Atlanta's closer and it's a lot of Black people there that are like running things, owning things. It's a good place for you to start. So I went there, and I just felt like in New York, it's like a challenge. Like you really deal with a lot of other people that want to do what you're doing. And
Yeah.
so it's a good challenge yourself. But in Atlanta, everybody's kind of like, I'm a rapper, you know, like I had did this thing and I'm a rapper, and I'm a famous actress because I've been a extra 20 times. And I was just like, how is this going to work? Like, how am I really going to learn anything from being around people that feel like they've already arrived because they recorded a
Right.
song in the closet, you know? So I just got tired of it. And I literally, Trina, I told my sister, I was like, I want to leave. I don't know where I want to go. So I put all my stuff in the storage. I applied at places all over the world. And we packed up the car and went to New Orleans for Essence. And on our way to Essence, on our way to New Orleans, my sister got a job. And then I got an interview.
Wow. Look at
I had an
God.
interview like that week. Yeah. So that's how I got to New Orleans. And
Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
amazing. I love it. Look, I love that because people be so afraid to leave. And I'm like, I tell my students all the time, look, home will always be home. You want to
Mm-hmm.
come back? Come back. But you need to leave. You need to leave. At least
Yeah.
leave a few
And
hours. Like leave.
yeah. And you need to do it a lot of times. I'll tell this story real quick. When I did gymnastics, when I was trying out for cheer, I did gymnastics and I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy told me, you're too old to do gymnastics. And I couldn't understand that because I was only 15.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm telling you now, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to tell you to do, you're going to think I'm crazy. And he said, and that's because of your age. It comes with wisdom.
Yeah.
And he said, these 3-year-olds, I can tell them to run, do 10 backflips and jump off the building, and they're going to do it. And they're going to land it.
Yep.
But your fear, you're going to have to fight against your fear, you know? So a lot of the stuff that I did while I was younger needed to be done then. It was crazy. It was very crazy. We didn't even tell my mama. We didn't even tell my mama that we were going to New Orleans.
Right.
And we had been there, had the interviews and all that, you know?
Look.
We didn't even tell her, you know, because we knew it was like crazy. But a lot of the stuff that I did then, moving to Atlanta, moving to New York, without having anywhere to live, just going because I got into school.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. And I needed to do it in my 20s because I know that now in my 30s, if I'd be tired. I just can't see it. I just can't see me doing some of the stuff that I did that was fearless then. I can't see it being called fearless.
Name your school, name your colleges, name your schools real quick. Name the schools that you went to again really quick. Your colleges. Or where you went to in
okay, now let me say this.
No, the school you went to in New York is what I meant.
Stella Adler. Stella Adler.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't do a full program at Stella Adler, which is kind of weird for people because I enjoy learning. I do enjoy learning, but I didn't enjoy college.
Yeah.
I went to Texas Women's University, and then I came home and did some stuff at TCC.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like school. And it was strange for me because I've always, you know, some of my high school teachers going to be like, what, you like school? But I've always liked school. I enjoy learning things, but I just couldn't get with school. I felt like with me working, I felt like I was sacrificing my dream for school.
And you were.
to learn about my dream, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it that way. Now, I am trying to, you know, get back into school now. But yeah, so I decided to do that program. It's the program that the students, some of the students at NYU use, the Tisch School of the Arts. They do some of the classes over there. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, you ain't got $40,000 to go to NYU.
Yep.
Just go ahead and do this little program, and you can get some of the same, learn some of the same skills from some of the same teachers as them. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you shared that, because that's my whole point. That's why I asked, because a lot of kids feel like they have to go to college, and I honestly feel like you don't have to if you don't want to. And if you feel like you're wanting to go to another place, go live life first, I think that's important.
Yeah.
To feel like it's okay to do that, because everyone's trying to please their parents, but their parent is not going to live for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Let me tell you something,
you're
Trina.
grown now, baby. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
You have to really go for it. I remember when I went to New York, I didn't have anywhere to live. I was night auditor at a hotel, and I was like, I'm just gonna use my hotel rate, and I'll just, get the discount until I could find somewhere to live. And that stopped after a while, because like after a short while, because I was like, I'm working overnight, I'm going to school during the day, so I'm spending all this money just to be in the room for a few hours, so I just stopped doing it. I was just finding somewhere. I would go somewhere and take a shower, change, go to school, and then go back to work overnight. And I just was like, some days I was just sitting in the train station just waiting. Girl, I would sleep in Starbucks, everything. I think I put
Whatever
out
you gotta do
in there. Yeah, and my mom would just be like, you need to come home. And I'm just like, no, I'm not, because for what? What I'm gonna come back to?
Yeah, what you coming back for? Look, that explains a lot about your passion, though. That helps.
No, I'm just saying it just was a time for me to learn a lot about myself and how much I'm willing to do for something that something that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
How far I'm willing to go for it, So it's necessary, I think that you can always go back to school.
Yep.
And I think that what I really think, Trina, is that if I had continued to go to school, then I would have gone for theater for sure. And now that I have lived and done theater I really feel like that even though I really do enjoy theater and, really enjoy it, like would be homeless to do it.
Yeah, that's real.
I feel like my purpose is really, this is really cheesy, but I feel like my purpose is kind of inspiring people to be the best version of themselves, reach the highest level. And so going to school now, I would go for something totally different. I do feel like being in theater prepared me. I feel like doing all those activities I did in high school and living in all the different places I've lived has prepared me to be a speaker.
Yeah.
And I think that I would have continued to go to school just to be doing it, just because that's what you're supposed to do.
Society.
And I would end up getting a degree and then still needing to go back and get another degree for what I now know is really my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like it could be beneficial to not go to school. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm just saying school doesn't matter or anything like that.
For some people it doesn't, though. For some people it doesn't.
Yeah, it's up to you. You get to choose.
Just be willing to I always say you just gotta have that conversation. Just be like, look, I respectfully understand what you're trying to tell me, parents, but this is my life.
I tried it, and I remember when I decided to drop out, and my mom had how they think they liked and talk to the family, and they gonna come talk to you. And my sister that's 20 years older than me, she came and tried to talk to me, and she was like, well, maybe you can call the professors and they'll let you do. And I was just like, no, because I don't want to do that. And she was like, after a couple of little different, she was like, okay, she don't want to do it. Like, it's not. What I'm saying is not penetrating her. Like she's not feeling it, So
yeah,
once you're an adult, you have to really sit back and think about what you want, how you want your life to be, what you're willing to do to get that life.
Yeah.
And not mess around, not waste any time, you know, not waste any time because
Can't afford to. You can't afford to, especially if you go on the
definitely,
alternative route, because you don't
yeah,
have no room.
it don't wait on you at
Yeah,
all.
it does not. And you have to be willing to sacrifice for it, because that's the major key. They be like, I want this, but they're not willing to work for it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
be
Yep.
willing to work for it, people. So I want to talk to you about like having a circle around you and what it takes to be in your circle. So like, what is your 5 non-negotiables when it comes to the people you keep around you?
Honesty.
Hmm?
Ding. Um, I can't do the lies. I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I don't have the energy for it, and I don't handle disrespect well. So honesty. I definitely think that I kind of have a little pause about saying having, you know, goals and all that because everybody just doesn't. Some people are content, and that's fine too. But I think at least recognizing goals or whether you're done with your goals, like whether
Yeah.
you know. But so those two things, I would say being understanding.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean it's important, and I'm trying to. I think was maybe catching me now is like I'm examining whether I have these things, but
Yeah. That's funny because that's why I asked the question, because
yeah,
I always get, maybe that's the life coach in me. Um, I always ask that question because I feel like it's important to, like, we teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves. So if
hmm
you do these things, like I'm sure you try your best to do those 3 things in
yeah,
your relationship. So whatever you displaying, that's what people gonna pull out.
yeah,
And most
yeah,
people not gonna stick around because you're not gonna let them stick around that long if they're not exuding the same
right.
energy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
And not even that, Trina, the crazy thing about that is I probably if you get that close to me, I probably would let you stick around because I get very easily attached to people, and that's not to say like I'm clingy or I have to have you, anything like that, but I just
Hmm.
don't do goodbye.
Yeah,
And so since I do that about myself, I try to make sure that the boxes are kind of checked. You know what I'm saying?
early.
Because then you attach to the person that is just not good for you or whatever. So with that being said, another one of the things, because I'm such a giving person, and and I, you know, hate to kind of say that, but I am a very giving person and very nurturing. I want to take care of everybody. I want everybody to kind of be comfortable. And you know, if you need some kind of special oil, like or something like to feel good, like I'm gonna try to figure out how to make it.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
just loving. That's a
I
good
need,
thing.
yeah, I need people around me that know how to tell me when to like stop.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'll just give. And if you're someone that kind of is okay with that, then you're just gonna be receiving all this stuff. So either
Hmm.
someone that can recognize when I need to like chill, or somebody that can reciprocate.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the latter for you, because no, for real, because it's like you don't want to have to, like, that's just who you are. And I know it's
Yeah,
hard because you want to have you need to have boundaries to protect yourself, but at the same time it's like God gives to us all the
yeah.
time. So it's like I see why we adopt that.
Yeah,
And
I just feel like it's crazy that it just feels like part of me is kind of like sometimes I feel I'm doing too much or um like I'm just like just not doing something that I feel like I really want to do. And you don't
yeah,
want to feel that way,
yeah,
so it's important for me to have people around me. Otherwise I'll be drained.
yeah,
I'll be doing everything that I'm doing in my life and then also trying to help you do everything in yours. And if you don't Now, eventually, hopefully I'll get a little bit better at it, but I need that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fifth thing, I would say someone that is funny, fun,
Mm-hmm.
can take a joke, likes to have a good time, just
That's
those kinds.
necessary. That's
Likes
so necessary.
Martin. Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Can pick
just
up the when I say a quote, you can finish
right.
it. Like I need that.
Like I don't want my jokes to just fall flat because you haven't watched the Martin where he pulling the dog around.
Who says shit?
I need you to know what I'm talking about.
Is that your favorite episode?
That's the one I think about most when I think about like just dying laughing at him. Because girl, Martin is just so silly. He was just so serious pulling that dog around. That dog was just on the ground, just like being dragged across the floor. So
crazy.
Yeah, that's probably at least one of my favorite episodes. I have all the seasons.
Yeah,
DVD.
Man, Martin. My favorite one is the one where he was beating up that little rat looking thing.
Girl. Yes.
Ain't no damn puppy.
The puppy. Yeah, that was a fun too.
I said, who approved of these animals? Because they didn't even look.
Girl, and it was like on wheels or something. Like how it just rolled in.
They had a remote control.
Mm-hmm. Girl, that was hilarious.
Martin show is classic. That was a classic, man.
Yeah.
That's too crazy. Anyway.
So gotta be fun, funny, not negative and just, all that kind of stuff like that.
That's a big deal. I'm glad that you can voice that because like I said, there's a lot of people in the world who don't know like what they need in their lives. Like they don't even have enough boldness to speak it. So I'm glad that you're able to like verbalize what you need because it's important and we need people to understand that's important for themselves. So I want to ask you, what role does God play in your life?
I feel like God, and even just spirituality, it plays a really big part in my life. Like, I'll be honest with you, I feel like, okay, so I was raised Baptist, but I feel like lately I have adopted just more of a non-traditional approach to like religion.
Yeah.
I do believe in God, but I also want to like align my chakras and like make sure that like the energy around me, like I don't know if it's weird to say that I don't want to put it all on God, but like if I'm around you and I feel like you don't have good energy, then that's kind of like on me to like not just be around you no more instead of just trying to like pray it away or speak in tongues, do all that. Like, so I feel like I've kind of just been kind of really on that wavelength lately, like just trying to be in tune with myself. I feel like I have a different relationship with God, maybe a more expanded understanding of God than I would say I was kind of raised to. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I feel like it's a relationship that everybody else may not understand, and I don't care if you do or not because it's my relationship.
Yep.
And yeah, so I feel like it definitely informs like everything about me, what I do, what I'm willing to accept. I feel like it's informed everything about my growth. And what I was saying earlier, as far as relinquishing some of the control and the need to know what's going to happen and all of that, it's like, just relax.
Just be.
It's going to be fine. Everything is going to be good. Like, just stay in the flow, stay in alignment, and it'll all be good. So it's definitely like, it's strange that I feel like my relationship with God has changed a lot and that I feel like it's a lot different than what I was raised for it to be, but I like it more, So I don't know if any of this is making sense.
Makes perfect sense to me because look, you have to remember when we're younger, let's be honest, we go to church because we told we going to church. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of pushed on you. It's not necessarily like I gravitated to it, to God. Like now it's kind of like you're building your own relationship with God. And it's like you and him, and you understand that it's you and him.
Yeah.
So it's just different when you know it for yourself and you know that you know that you know.
Yeah.
So,
And it's I wish I could explain it better, but it's kind of like when I try to explain it to people, they don't really get it, and I like that. Like I like that you might not necessarily understand, but it's still good enough for me, and I'm not trying to qualify my relationship with God against how you feel about it.
right.
This is what it is,
It's different for everybody though. The
Yeah.
relationship levels, because we're on different levels. Like you don't know, like, and I think it was interesting that you said you feel like if somebody gives you bad energy, you need to get away. Like you don't have to sit there and be there. I feel like that's good stewardship
Yeah.
because I mean it said in the Bible, protect your heart, like all
Yeah.
of that. Like so I do think that part of the things that we get into, sometimes we allow that in.
Yeah.
So you have to be very like diligent about who you let around you, the things that you allow in your space, your atmosphere, all of that is important.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you said that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's very important.
Being being mindful, it has been, I don't want to say really tough, but I think initially it was just kind of tough for me to like break out and kind of do something that I felt like, um, I don't know if my family would be like disapproving of it or anything, but I have to do, again, like we talked about earlier, I have to do what I know feels right for me. And
Yeah.
I feel like, um, just going to Bible study and going to church and even just reading the Bible, like I don't feel like it's sufficient for me. Like I feel like I need to be mindful of who's in my space, and I need to be mindful of what I'm carrying around,
You do.
like moment to moment. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like that in a lot of ways God has equipped me with a lot of things, and I'm not going to just every little step of the way pray and be like, it's a cliff. I don't know, God, what you think? Should I go over the cliff? I need your guidance on this, just like, hallelujah, just let, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you know what to do in this
Just
situation. I
go.
gotta equip you with this wisdom and go for it, or either you not,
Exactly.
and yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Especially if God already has shown you like that. If he already shown you once, you know that he's going to be there. So it's just
Yeah.
some stuff shouldn't have to keep saying over and over again. I'm sure God will probably be like, Lord Jesus.
No, I'm sure he don't. He just don't do nothing. He just be like,
I know, just like looking down like, okay, all right, bro.
have you had a VA? Like,
For
probably
real, though.
annoyed.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
Probably super annoyed, but hey, what can we do? What can we do? Um, so do you believe that your purpose is a journey or a destination?
I think it's both. I think that as far as I feel like my purpose is kind of multi-layered, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like with some things you can arrive at it and be good with what has happened. And with other things, it's more about what you pick up on the way there, and it's something that's gonna always be,
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's just a little bit of both. Mm-hmm.
So how do you define success and happiness?
Um, Success and happiness is one of those things, again, that is gonna be different from person to person. For me right now, it's feeling like I am in flow. And it's really that simple for me right now,
Yeah.
Trina. Like, it's really that simple for me. Like, the other day I was talking to someone, and after, like, almost immediately after, I felt like in my spirit, I felt like that ain't in flow. Like, I don't even remember what it was. Whatever I said, or whatever I was kind of like freaking out about, whatever my dilemma was, I was just like, that's not in flow. Like, all of these feelings that you're feeling are causing you all of this extra, when you just stay in flow,
Yep.
you'll be happy. And the success, like, even as far as, like, right now I'm in Texas doing some stuff with my mom and kind of helping her. And I have stuff that I could be doing with my businesses. Just so many different things that I could be doing. And I told my sister, like, I just can't worry about them. Like, I have to trust that when I'm able to pick it back up, it's at the right time.
Yeah. Yep.
Instead of obsessing over it, knowing that it's something that I can't do, but still obsessing over it. And it's just not a solution. It's not going to change anything,
It's not. It's going to make you sick.
Yeah.
It's going to make you sick.
Literally. So I feel like kind of just staying in flow with things, checking in with myself, being honest with myself about how I feel, how I'm expressing myself, what I want, what I don't want, how I'm treating people. Those are the things that make me happy. Like, when I sit down at night, if I feel like, I fuss at my son, so I don't want y'all to think that I know, because he gets fussed at because he needs to. But if there's ever like a day where I feel like, girl, you went too far with that, like that affects me. That affects and not even just as a parent, but as a person. I want to be careful about what I'm doing, how what I'm doing could be affecting him as a person, as an adult Black man, not even just right now. So yeah, checking in with myself. When I can check in with myself and be honest about something that I've done wrong and correct it, that makes me feel so good and accomplished, and just like I'm really doing the right thing, Like, I'm one of those cheesy people that feels good about, like, I'm one of I like turning money if I find it, like, so, like, doing, like, knowing that I'm doing the right thing, and knowing that it's because I've been honest with me, not because somebody had to come tell me about myself, or I had to see him crying because I hurt his feelings, or anything like that. But just because I said, Jamie, you tripping, you need to fix it. Like, that makes me feel so good. So I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or what, but those are the things that make me feel like I'm being successful.
Because you're self-aware.
Being honest, and self-correcting along the way, and learning. Those are the things that make me feel successful.
Yeah, I will say that, with us growing up, those things kind of shift, and now we're more like how you just explained it. I'm sure when we were younger, it was like, oh, when I get this car, when I get, when you get things, when you're younger, you think about things. When you get older, you think about empathy, you think about compassion and feelings, and things like that. So that's beautiful. That's a great self-awareness is the most beautiful thing you can experience. And once you get it, it changes the game, because you can acknowledge that you're not in flow, and when people not right for you, and this ain't gonna end well. So let me go ahead and hit that stage left.
And self-awareness is cool, it's good, but it's also just having the same lesson over. How many times can you have this lesson before you're gonna get it in
get it together?
So and it's just I feel like I feel a new confidence about things just coming together. Like, you know, yeah, in my 20s, I would have definitely said something about career wise or something like that is what success is to me. And
Mm-hmm.
being able to do it on my own terms, I would have definitely said something like that. But now I know that stuff is gonna come. I know
Yeah,
it is.
it's coming
So I need
always.
to yeah, I just have to focus on being a good person and how I'm making people feel, um and the mark I'm leaving on the world if I never get to be an executive assistant again, if I never get to do theater again, if I never, you know, get to be a mom again, or you know, whatever. If all of this ends, I need to focus on how I am as a human.
Yeah,
And that's what really matters. That's what really matters to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that changes
So
the game. That changes the game because you're building character. So yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Look at so grown up. Jesus, look at us. So
No,
proud.
it's been grown. But yeah, I'm feeling really grown this year, this 33rd year.
Yes, because it's your Jesus year. Welcome. I can't wait. When do you turn 33?
Oh, I already turned 33.
Oh, you already turned 33. Okay, because I was about to say I'm in my Jesus year too. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I'll be
different.
34 in August.
It's
Yeah.
it hits different though. You really do feel like, well, the way I took it was like, okay, when I first named it my Jesus year, I was like, I know a lot of things are about to shift. Like I could feel it, literally feel
Hmm.
it in my spirit that like
Yeah.
they're gonna start shifting, and I'm gonna prepare for those moments. I'm gonna prepare for whatever it is He's aligning me with, because I know I feel it,
Yeah.
so I gotta act now. So that's my
Yeah.
faith, my
And
faith move.
like if I didn't name mine my Jesus year. Um, I don't know. I just didn't.
Mhm.
I didn't even get that until I heard other people saying it.
Mhm.
But I am big on gardening and all of that. So I had
Yeah.
a big, very small brunch, like a garden party kind of
Oh.
brunch. And I just look at it as I'm blossoming, you
Yeah.
know, and pulling up weeds and all that kind of stuff. That's how I've looked at it this year. I feel like I'm just so much happier, you know, even the people that I would say 2020 was like the year that I lost the most people, not because they died, you
Mhm.
know, these people are still alive, they're just
They
not a
just
part of
shed
my
it.
life anymore.
They just shed it off of you.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And so usually that would just be something that I would just be so down about, you know, like I have not handled goodbyes well. And I am just so proud of myself for the way that, you know, it still affects me sometimes. I think about people all the time.
Mhm.
All of them. But it's just not debilitating me in the same way that it would have maybe in prior years.
Mhm.
Um and I'm okay with that. You know, like I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I can feel happy without
Yeah.
that attachment, that it's not, that my happiness isn't attached to anything or anybody, that I'm just happy just because, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, girl, I guess I'm getting grown.
What you're describing sounds more like joy to me.
Yes, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
because it's
That's
like, joy is not attached to
not
anything.
dependent upon anything. You're right.
Yeah, joy is not attached to anything like that we can tangibly touch. You
Right.
know, so
Yeah.
that's so beautiful. That I love it when people have that moment because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's you're on track to like really getting to where you're supposed to be because
Mm-hmm.
you're in the right space.
Well, thank you.
So,
Yeah, I'm happy. And, you know, I know that like those songs in church say the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. And you hear that and you be like, okay.
when you're
But
young,
it's
you like,
true. It's like, it's true. It's
it's
like
true.
nothing that happens, regardless of what it is or how bad it's been or anything, like it just hasn't taken it away. It just hasn't.
Because you're
So,
not giving it
yeah.
away. That's the difference. You have a
Okay,
choice.
I'm through life coach. I have to book a session.
It's true though. It's really true. You really have the option to give it. We give it away all the time. But once
Yeah,
you make a
that's true.
decision, you experience and you like, ain't nothing for us to get in the way of this. You keep it.
Yeah. You're right, Trina. You are right.
Man, for real. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So trust me, like
Mhm.
that's why ain't nothing for nah, you can keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it
Yep.
up this time. So yeah. Well, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
If you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
Nope.
Nope.
I
She
can
like,
say that. I can say that without even thinking. Like, nope. I wouldn't change a thing. I'm grateful. I'm proud of myself. I feel like I still have a long way to go, but I feel like I'm just not supposed to be here. Just coming from what I come from,
mm-hmm.
statistically and all that, like I'm just not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be in some of the rooms that I'm in, some of the conversations that I'm in, places that
Mm-hmm.
I've been, and all of that, So I'm super grateful. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm grateful for all the experiences. Even with my parents being on drugs, I feel like just being able to witness two people be on drugs and they're not now.
Yeah. You
You
saw the
don't
whole
hear that.
transition, man.
You don't ever hear. You don't hear that often. Not the stuff they was doing, child. But
Yeah.
but you don't hear that. And that's not to say that my parents are perfect, but I'm proud of them, and I'm happy that's what I've come from,
Yeah.
and it has, just witnessing that has informed myself. It has informed me about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And what just like, I've already explained a lot of what I've gone through, have done, or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
just how much more I could do, how
Yeah.
much more, how strong, we really can be when we really want to be. I wouldn't change a thing. Nope.
That's what's up. That it's tried and true faith is what I say.
Yep.
And I love the fact that you have a relationship with your parents and that's been sustained because, for some people it wouldn't be sustained. So that's a beautiful thing
Now,
itself.
I had my days,
Yeah,
but
we've all, yeah, you're gonna have your days, you're human, but the fact that
yeah,
you fighting for it because you're there.
yeah, yeah. Now I love them. They make fun of me now that I'm the parent, and I'm, and all that stuff like that. Like I'm in Texas, and my dad called my mom and she said she was coming to get you together. I'm coming to get you together next, sir.
Are you telling on me?
You ready? Yeah. So no, they make fun of me all the time because they say I'm the parent now. It's like I'm the parent, but I love them, and I'm just so proud of just everything that we've come through, not allowing how it should be, or what the statistics say, or any of that, not allowing any of that to stop us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't change nothing. I'll say it over and over and over if you let me.
And you shouldn't change anything. Like, honestly, I'm extremely proud of you and I'm grateful. Thank you
Thank
for giving me
you.
your time, first of all.
Thank you.
But yes, it's amazing, like, to see how far all of us have come. Like, just to me, it's cool to see people come from where we come from and still be here and still be in our right
Mhm.
mind and all that
Yes.
stuff, because we've seen a lot. But
Yes.
I'm extremely grateful that you are a human living and breathing and helping people, and you will be impacting even more lives moving forward. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Trina, I think it's so cool that, not only to have somebody that's like local, to want you to do something, but like a peer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like if you was with me at Tech, you saw me in my worst days. Like,
We
the
had some days.
worst,
We had some days.
everything,
Oh my
attitude.
gosh.
Ooh, I was rough. I was rough around the edges. Like, I'd be wanting to just track down all my teachers and just apologize. Because I was like,
You a
I'm not
little.
doing that. I'm not sitting in the hall no, I'm not. I'm getting ready to go to Burger King. I see you when like, I was just rough around the edges. So I feel like if you were around me then and can still see past all that to even want me to do this, like, I just think that is so cool. And I appreciate you and all of the work you're putting in. I'm super proud of you as well for just everything that you're doing. And when I say everything, I mean like you got your hand, like you're doing a lot, you know. So just super proud of you and appreciative that you would invite me into your space to converse like this. I think it's so neat, and you know, don't stop, girl. You know what you're doing.
I definitely want.
I'll be booking a session soon. Like,
come on and book it. Come on and book it. Let me plug my own stuff. Come to level27coaching.com. Plug my own stuff. Nah, that I receive all of that, and I thank you so much. I feel like God is going to use us in a great way, so I'm just going to keep letting Him drive. I'm just a passenger, so. But yeah.
Thank you.